Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Brooke. Right now I have my dorm to myself this weekend, which is really nice because I can create like a lot of content, as in probably 2 videos. I forgot to do this. I went on spring break to Cancun and I also went to Tulum, and I forgot to make my shockings videos. If you guys know, if you guys follow this channel, I've done shockings of Puerto Rico, shockings of the Dominican Republic, shockings of Costa Rica, and I forgot to do it for Mexico because I just have been so busy. But I went a few weeks ago and I love Mexico so much, but here is my shockings of Mexico. Let's just dive right in. Oh, disclaimer, shockings is not a bad thing to say. Sure, it sounds like, oh my gosh, I was absolutely shocked and I hated Mexico, but that is not how I'm portraying this at all. These are just things that are culture shocks, things that just surprise me, surprises of Mexico, I should say. Airport has a certain smell to it that it's not the greatest scent. I'm not the only one who noticed this clearly. As soon as we got off the plane, we got like inside the airport. Maybe there's just something that day, but that is the worst smelling airport I've ever been in my whole life. Cancun International Airport. What you doing? I don't really know exactly how to describe the smell. It was just really not it. Everyone that got off the plane was like, ew, what is that smell? Okay, this actually really surprised me. It's a positive. Mexico has pretty safe traffic in my opinion from what I saw. And that surprises me because when I was in Costa Rica, in the Dominican Republic, those places specifically had crazy traffic. So I almost figured that like all Latin American countries kind of had like crazy traffic that has no rules, and maybe other spots in Mexico are like that, but I felt like I could totally like rent a car and drive around in Mexico. It didn't like I didn't ever feel like unsafe or like be like, oh my gosh, like who is driving right now, you know? It was not like how it was in like the Dominican that has absolutely crazy traffic, or like Costa Rica where the roads are absolutely insane. The traffic in Mexico, or in the parts that I was in, like I said, I went to Tulum and I went to Cancun, so only 2 spots. This is the Yucatan Peninsula that I'm talking about. Traffic seemed pretty safe, and I felt comfortable in the traffic. It was comparable to the US. Also, pedestrians have the right of way, and this really surprised me because like I said, in other countries I went to, it was not like this, but like they stop for you. Like if you, like Puerto Rico, for example, it was not like this. Puerto Ricans, I feel like you go out in traffic and it's like if they hit ya, they hit ya, you know? The thing with Panama, I got that same vibe that it's like if they hit ya, they hit ya. But in Mexico, to me, it wasn't like that. Pedestrians like have the right of way, and it's pretty clear. Like they'll stop for you. They could be going really fast, but if someone walks out in traffic, they're stopping. And that sounds like pretty obvious, you know, like because in the US pedestrians have the right of way, but like in other countries I've been to, it's like there's been some close calls that I've been like, shoot, I almost got hit. And when people cut you off in traffic, it is almost done like gracefully. There's not like a lot of honking like in the Dominican Republic there was, and it seems like it's just nice. Like I would drive around Mexico. I don't know how else to put it. I'm gonna probably get hate for this one because I said this in the Dominican Republic video and people went insane in the comments, but I feel like it's something to bring up to someone who isn't Hispanic or isn't like Latin American and doesn't speak the best Spanish. Mexico is very Spanish. I wouldn't say, in the parts I went to, I wouldn't say it's as Spanish as the Dominican, but you do need to know some Spanish to get around. That did not surprise me. I'm just putting it in the video for any travelers listening who may be thinking, oh, Mexico's really touristy, I don't need to know an ounce of Spanish. You do need to know at least basic Spanish to get by in Mexico. And I went to the really touristy spots, right? Like I went to Cancun, I went to Tulum, and even in those spots, I feel like, I mean, sure, you could go to Cancun for a week, not know an ounce of Spanish and get by just fine. But all the signs are in Spanish. Obviously, it's Latin American, that's to be expected. And I feel like you should just know, at least at the bare minimum, basic Spanish going to these countries. Going to Mexico, what am I saying? That's my opinion, but my thoughts are, if I went to the touristy spots and it was like that, where I think you should know basic Spanish, what about the non-touristy spots that you might be hitting as well? Those are going to be even more Spanish. So just know at least basic Spanish before going to Mexico. This one was a huge, I mean, I wasn't really shocked because I did research, but there is so much to do in Mexico. It's almost overwhelming. And overwhelming in a good way, of course. But just Cancun alone, there is so much to do and so much to choose from. I was literally like, I'm gonna run out of money here because I want to do everything. I mean, there's Musa, which is the underwater like museum. I didn't do that, but I really I want to go back and do that. There's cenotes left and right that you can go swim in. There's like a million in the Yucatan Peninsula. There's also Chichen Itza. There's all different types of Mayan ruins that you can explore. There's amazing beaches. They literally have, I think, the second biggest reef in the world right on the Yucatan Peninsula. I mean, Mexico is literally full of just activities left and right that you can just choose from. Like it's like I went to some other places, let's just Cabarete, for example, which is the Dominican Republic. I'm not saying there's not a lot to do in DR. I'm saying the spot that I was in, Cabarete, there wasn't much to do in that spot. There was literally kite surfing and the beach and restaurants, you know? So of course you're gonna have other spots in Mexico that's the whole area, and people might prefer that compared to the chaos of Cancun, where you have the insane nightlife, you have Cocobango, you have bars to choose from, a bunch of different activities. So it's something to consider. Like if you want the chaos, I say like if you're only traveling for a week, like I did for spring break, I was in Mexico for 9 days, then definitely hit those spots if you're one of those people that like is not going to relax, is going for adventure and chaos. There's just so much to choose from to do in Mexico that I honestly think out of everywhere I've been, Costa Rica might be a good competition, but there is so much to do. All interesting things, and I want to say that all the activities, like the majority of them are around like $50 per person. So it will add up, but like they're affordable if you're only doing like a few, you know? Cancun's main beach, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the name of it. I want to say it's called Playa Forum, but I could be wrong. It is very nice. It is absolutely beautiful. It is totally like what the pictures on Google look like. That is literally what it is. Cancun's like one of those places that I went to and it's exactly what I expected it to be, which is good. It's a good thing. Like I said in my Costa Rica video, Costa Rica to me was not like that. I got to Costa Rica and every place I went to, I was like, this is not like Google. I love Costa Rica, so I'm not shitting on Costa Rica. I'm just saying like Cancun is exactly what Google makes it out to be. And their main beach is absolutely beautiful. It almost gave me Australia vibes, just walking it, and like you see the blue waters, and it's just so pretty. Mexican military carry huge weapons on them in casual spots. This was a huge shocking. I would be in the supermarket and there would be someone like military just walking around with like rifles, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Walk the beach full on outfits with guns, just casually walking the beach, going back and forth, and they do it to protect tourists. But I'm gonna be completely honest, I almost felt more unsafe with the fact that they're carrying these giant weapons in casual spots than I would have if they just weren't there. And I get like their point, like they're showing like anyone, like you mess with the tourists or you mess with anyone honestly, and there's consequences, you know, it's like a threat them walking around. I felt kind of like uncomfortable, like especially the first time I saw one of the military guys or girls like walking around with the rifles, I was like, oh my gosh, like in the US they do not do that. Like we were leaving one of the beaches and they had like a whole freaking like tank outside of the beach, and they were just chilling, just chilling as a threat, you know, like, well, you mess with us, this is what we have these giant weapons. And to me it's just kind of strange because I was like, huh. This is if you go to Chichen Itza, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. I recommend to go to it. It is absolutely beautiful, and there's so much more to see than just Chichen Itza. You go there and there's like, it's like a whole area like of just Mayan ruins. It's amazing. You will be charged if you bring a GoPro in and you use it. I don't know exactly why they do this. Maybe it's just like because so many people bring a GoPro, like, and I don't think you can fly drones either. It's something like that. But you can bring a normal camera, you can bring your phone, but if you want to bring a GoPro, for some reason, you will be charged for using it. Oh my gosh, this one was a huge shocking. I've never experienced this before. Almost every woman's bathroom that I used in Cancun and Tulum did not have a toilet seat on it. It was so weird, because at first, like the first time it happened, I'm like, okay, and it was at Chichen Itza the first time it happened. I was like, that's kind of weird, like this is really touristy, but I don't know, maybe it's like maybe, I don't know. I was just giving it the benefit of the doubt, you know? But then it happened a few more times and I was kind of like, oh, this is like a reoccurring theme of Mexico. I don't know exactly why they do not have toilet seats at least in the women's bathrooms they didn't, but it was definitely shocking. Now I know that I said traffic is pretty safe in my opinion by the looks of it, but highways are not. Or highways in Mexico are just like pothole galore. Like, I always think the area I live in is bad with potholes, but it's nothing compared to Mexico. The roads are just not it. Roads are just, like, we were coming back from Chichen Itza, and the roads were absolutely, like, awful. I was like, dude, this guy's gonna pop a tire, because these roads so need fixed. In Mexico, I actually felt pretty safe. I didn't have a moment in Mexico where I felt unsafe or felt like my life was at stake. Overall, I honestly, that really shocked me, because Mexico doesn't have the best rep, at least in the US. Like, I know where I live, the people look at Mexico as like not bad, but like as unsafe. It's looked at as, oh, like when I said I was gonna solo travel to Mexico, people were like, oh, you sure about that? I never had a moment in Mexico where I felt unsafe. I felt fine walking around at night, or walking around alone, or even at one point, after I was leaving Cocobongo, I had to go down this like alley, and I was like, that's a dark alley, I don't know if I want to go down that. But I had to get back to my spot where I was staying, and I did, and I actually felt completely fine. And like in the morning when I had to get up early to get a COVID test, like before anyone was out, it was like 6 a.m. I felt fine just walking around. And I don't know, I feel like Mexico, maybe there's other spots. I was in the tourist areas, like I keep saying, Cancun, Tulum, but in those areas I felt safe. Now on the flip side of that, Mexico, this is debatably my biggest shocking of Mexico. Mexico is actually more safe for women than it is for men, and let me explain. Most places are of course like the opposite. Like you hear of a male solo traveler and you're like, okay, good for you guy, like good for you man. You hear of a female solo traveler and you're kind of like concerned a little bit, you know? And it's funny because in Mexico it is the opposite, where like I said, I never felt unsafe in Mexico. However, when I was in Tulum, I hung out with a bunch of these English guys, and they were so cool, love them, great guys. But my one friend Hagen, he actually got robbed by the police and got beat up by the police. And he wasn't doing anything. Sure, maybe he was out late on his own, he had a few drinks, but like the police officers just came up to him, took his wallet, started putting it in like money in their pockets, and Hagen went to like rip his wallet back and they like beat him up. And this is the police, which is absolutely astounding to me, because it's like, that is so corrupt. It's awful. I want to say, like, I did not feel safe around the police after that, and I felt way more safe around the military, even though they had those giant weapons. So shout out to the military, because one night they helped me get back to my place. Like they gave me directions, so shout out to you guys are great. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, because they actually go for men over women, because they assume that men carry the money and that the women do not. So most of the time they don't bother the women, but that was not the only instance of something happening. Like there was like a few nights later where my friend Matt, he was also an English guy, he got chased by the police, and he's a quiet kid, he was keeping to himself, and out of nowhere the police started chasing him because they wanted his money. And this is the police, so it's almost like super sad to me, because it's like, who is gonna get you in trouble when you are the top of the food chain, you know? Like who? And it almost makes me think, if they are doing that in Tulum, where it is very touristy and it's very nice, then what about the other parts of Mexico? Like that other people, like that are off the beaten path that people may be going to. So if you are a male solo traveler, even female, who knows, maybe this is happening in other areas to girls too, I just highly advise, don't be walking out at night alone, or be very cautious. Always have someone with you and be prepared to run. This is not shocking to me because this happened in other countries, but shocking to anyone who may be going to Mexico, throw your toilet paper into the trash, not into the toilet. Like I said in previous episodes, their pipelines just aren't made for having an excessive amount of toilet paper or being able to not get clogged, so respect that. Also, I said this in other episodes, but do not drink the tap water. Just do not do it. You will be regretting it if you do. Another shocking, this is a good thing, public transportation is chef's kiss in Mexico. It is one of the best that I've ever experienced, if not maybe the best. Costa Rica was really good too. But yeah, public transport is just like so nice in Mexico. You just go online, you can get bus tickets for anywhere from $10 to, I actually don't know how high it goes. The most I spent on a ticket was $20, but that is for like a 2-hour, 3-hour ride. I think it was 2 hours. You also can get bus tickets to the airport. You can keep going up the coastline and backpacking it like a lot of people do. And their bus system is just great. It's all done through a QR code, so it's not like one of those where you may have to worry about them scamming you when you get there because you're not Hispanic or Latin American, you know? So I really like that it's all done through online and it's pretty easy to understand. And yeah, it's just public transport is amazing in Mexico, or at least the area I was in. Keep that in mind throughout this whole video. Okay, last one is Tulum. If you plan on going there, they have this beach called Paradise Beach. It is off of the Mayan ruins. And that beach is the picturesque beach, right? Like, if you see pictures of Tulum, look them up on Google, you'll just see this beach and the gray rocks, and it is absolutely one of the most beautiful, if not maybe the most beautiful beach I've ever been to. However, it is one of the worst beaches I've ever swam in. Oh, and same with Isla Mujeres. Like, you see that, and at least the spot I went to, the beach was absolutely lovely. It was so beautiful. But we went to like this other side of Isla Mujeres, and that might be the worst saltwater beach I've ever swam in. It's just, seaweed is absolutely everywhere in both of these. And the waves clashing, like, it's not like it's so freaking pretty. I cannot express that enough, but swimming in it is not the best. So yeah, I hope that you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it'll make me smile. And also, if you do not know, I have a travel podcast now. I've been uploading some of the episodes, but now I'm just going strictly pretty much to Anchor to upload. You can get it on Spotify or Apple Music. It is called The Living Abroad Pod, and living is spelled LIV-N, like, not dash, like apostrophe N. But yeah, I would love if you guys checked it out. It is just me talking about all my chaotic travel stories. I hope that you guys did enjoy. And I will see you guys next time I see you guys with a brand new video.